Greetings and salutations, folks, and welcome to Black Desert Online, the open beta for the Xbox One, where you can, as you can, I guess, say by the message on the screen, become your true self. Apparently, this is partially disguised as an inverse of a Persona game, in which your true self is actually awesome, as opposed to not awesome, and wanting to kill you. I find MMOs a little bit on the interesting side, because there are very few other genres of video game that say, hey, I've got a game for you to try out. You just have to dedicate hundreds and hundreds of hours of your life if you expect to get anywhere. Or at the very least, past the opening logos. There we go. So yeah, like, not only are you dedicating a lot of time, and it's a dedication that I've made before. Back in the day, I used to play too much World of Warcraft. And, like, there's part of me that wants to actually go back and cap that off, to actually do all the things that I wasn't able to do during my original time with it, but at the same time, in order to get to that point, family name. I guess that world is as good as any. I've always wanted to go back to it, but at the same time, like, I know it's going to take hundreds of hours to get even close to doing the things that I didn't do. Not to mention the fact that the version that I'll be playing now is completely different from the version I played before. And then there's the other thing with MMOs is the class. Final Fantasy XIV finds a way around this by attaching your class to your weapon, but with most other MMOs, like, you're kind of like creating a class that you're expected to play as for the rest of the game, and the odds that I would imagine would be of creating other classes, I guess, for, like, once you get dedicated to the whole experience. Like, I remember back in the day for World of Warcraft, I had my main, and then I had my alternates, generally used to collect items, to do skills that the main character couldn't, because they were limited to 2 professions. So I would generally have, okay, so I need some leather for this character. I'll go and make another character. That other character is now a skinner/leather worker. Final Fantasy XIV fixes that by allowing you to do any profession as long as you have the tools. And then we have the character creator. I don't usually spend much time on the character creator. I usually just kind of go with my gut. For some reason, okay, much better. So I can move the camera, but I cannot change anything while I'm looking at it. She only needs one eye. Okay. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. The fact that, I forgot about the fact that, Black Desert also does a lot of interesting character creator stuff. That was the whole thing when it was out on the when it came out on the PC, I do not notice any difference in any of these. Truly, only the greatest adventurers use the best hair products that give them the most shine. And that's... I guess this is now turning into an advertisement for Final Fantasy XIV, so I'll try to cap that off for now, and try to stick with other MMOs. And actually, let's just get through this character creator real quick, like. Alright, now gonna enter the game as Haythime, which sounds like a really, really dumb fantasy name. But I just made it up right now. It did not go through any editors. That is my excuse. Let's go. After the loading screen. It's been okay, so I did try Black Desert Online on the PC when it was relatively new? Kinda, sorta new? I don't remember when I tried it. And that actually probably goes a little bit more towards... Why is there a little man being chased? Is that the loading bar? Is a little man being chased by a black spirit? Alright. I can deal with that. I don't remember much about Black Desert. Because I think most of my memories of Black Desert I confuse specifically with Terra Online. And I actually don't have any memories of Black Desert. So, we're just gonna take a little close look at this game, see what's going on.
These are the memories of the forgotten world.
Oh yeah, I remember there was a black... That's what the black spirit that was chasing the loading bar guy. Is basically your tutorial advisor. Are you feeling okay now? You're finally free. I've waited a long time for you to wake up. Don't know why I'm rising so terribly out of bed as if it was a normal day in real life for me. You can run. Oh boy. Oh, phew. Oh no. Oh. Don't forget, you and I are like one. Freely look around. Because that's how you really introduce a character. You make them feel like they... Why do I have like a big Naruto, like really lower your head before you're running? Aha! I knew you were a fast learner. Use... okay, so I think I'm trying to pull a little bit of the darkness into there. Yeah. Big ogre dude that these guys are just perpetually poking. That's not gonna break again, is it? Truly, you are a master of controls. If you were able to walk across the streets. Oh, that... Check out this common rack. You might find something useful. Press A to find something useful. Do you have enough? You can use potions by pressing the right. Work, I'll teach you whenever you need me. Just press down. Finally, you're awake. Because every RPG needs to start with its hero waking up and being woken up out of bed. Although, again, is there a specific reason? I guess this main character has memory issues. Which, I guess, is another one of those RPG cliches. It kind of allows the player to not have to worry about the character's previous history if the character knows just as much as they do.
Are you really an expert? You don't look like one at all.
Well, I've investigated ruins across the continent. I study ancient artifacts.
Everybody says they're experts. What could you possibly do by yourself?
Huh. I didn't come here alone. I'm with an ancient language expert and some quality excavators.
You stand before Princess Jarette. You must mind your... I'm sorry, adventurer, but I can't really trust you with a job this important. Return where you came from.
No, thank you. Look, I discovered this gemstone in the Valencia ruins. It was verified as authentic by the Imperial Court.
My goodness, isn't this a gem of balance? They say it concealed the dark power. I never thought I would see one in my lifetime.
So is this something that Sir Jordan is looking for? Fine. You are in charge of the Stone Chamber investigation now. A fortnight. That's how long I'm giving you to figure it out.
Huh. It'll be much sooner than that.
Yeah, gotta, at the very least, I gotta give him props for being,
Must be destiny that brings you here.
What's the word for somebody who believes in themselves and tries hard? Maybe there's a reason why I don't remember that word right now. Okay.
Move
I
towards
see
the
that you're
light
finally
in the
awake.
darkness.
How do I know who you are? Traveler who does not remember anything. You look lost and confused. You're in the western camp. Don't know what happened, but you're safe here. I would have liked a much clearer break between like his dialogue and the Black Spirit tells you to go talk to Eden. Like, is he telling me that the Black Spirit is telling me to talk to Eden? Or is that something separate? Because it sounds like something separate.
Gradually, experience will show you the way.
I thought you were an adventurer or a mercenary. Hardly the kind of dress I'd expect from a farmer, anyway. Perhaps you'll remember as you recover. Go find Instructor Armstrong. And now to learn about combat. He looks like he walked directly off of the set of Elder Scrolls.
You need to learn good skills to stay alive.
Ah, it looks like you woke up, and you don't remember. That's all right. It's a good thing he's able to teach me skills regardless of whatever class I'm in. Draw a weapon. Alright. Main attack. Pretty cool. Alright. Oh. Sinister energy. Okay. There are a lot of... Okay, so that's how I can dodge. There are a lot of button combinations. You know, I guess that's something that makes this... Oh, and I can just double tap in order to do that. Interesting. How was it? Do you feel relaxed? But that instructor's a bit different, right? He looks very satisfied. It's a little bit odd that this game kind of gives you its own spiritual Navi, but...
If the enemy is too strong, raise your strength against weaker ones. Captain Cliff is admirable. Following his command is an honor.
Although, I've got to say, like, the world itself feels very, very crowded. At the very least, this town feels very, very crowded. I mean, I guess especially after my own experience with, like, World of Warcraft, where everything is very far apart, and Final Fantasy XI, where everything is really, really far apart and empty. Like, the amount of detail in this just one small location is very high, to the point where you can easily kind of miss a lot of things, or at the very least, walk by. Like, I just passed by a couple quests there, but I figure I might as well continue on with the main quest and hopefully fight dudes and, at the very least, experience the combat system a little bit more. There is so much to do in the Western Guard camp. Are you looking to enlist? You don't look like a soldier. That's very discriminatory of him.
There's a rumor that trees are moving in the deep forest in the south.
I don't know how you ended up here, but we'll take your help. Sure, why not?
It's hard to sleep at night because of the attacks by imps.
Learn more about imp soldiers. Oh, hello. I will beat you up. That was really fast. I was hoping to be able to do slightly more fighting, but it appears... Check the quest window. How does one check the... Jeez. See, that wasn't so bad. These imps they're pushovers, buddy. They're pushovers. One must know the enemy to secure victory. Fight them to know their ways. Knowledge is power. In order to gain knowledge, beat people up. Clearly, high school and elementary school bullies were onto something. They'll be like, wow, Black Desert Online really speaks to me. All these wild herbs are literally getting in the way of me trying to loot this this imp. Still, like I said in the town, it is very crowded. There are the environment is itself very crowded. Oh. Sorry, I got distracted slightly. There's apparently a neighborhood cat that's kind of like traveling throughout the backyard every now and again. So it's like, oh, that's the neighborhood cat again, passing by the window. Oh, there are two neighborhood cats. Now, it would be interesting, like, I guess this is your long-range attack. Because, like, the tutorial just kind of lays out all of its attacks, but it doesn't actually tell you what they do. Like, it just helps like, it gives you an enemy that's directly in front of you. So the difference between a long-range attack and a short-range attack is extremely slight. Pickaxe required for that. Still, it's... What is the range on this thing? But I guess that's the main reason why that happens to have the lowest damage output versus, say, the main attack. Also, though, what am I actually doing? Like, is that like a magic claw attack thing? Didn't I? Okay, I have to talk to him like a sucker. Great, you showed those imps what for?
We never lose pride.
Thanks to you, the situation has greatly improved, even though that's the other thing that I find interesting about MMOs, is the very static nature of them. Like, you get sent off to curb the imp population, and you, I guess, do it. But you can still pass by that imp population and be like, wow, the imps are, there's just as many imps there as there were when I walked through earlier. So, what did I do? What did I accomplish?
There's nothing that I love
Jarrett. Domangat.
This tastes horrible. Did you really think I would eat this garbage?
Yes.
Princess, we are not in Heidel anymore.
Ugh. Whatever.
Also, isn't one of those things an
Finish the job
apple?
and go home.
Does she really hate apples?
Why is Aiden so late? Have you seen Aiden in the stone chamber? I knew this was coming. don't
You
want
mean
your
that
wages, do you?
insufferable man?
I knew this was coming. You don't want your wages, do you? Are you
What's
planning on
interesting
keeping
is
that
Jamie is
gold coin
supposed to be
following me?
introducing me to the princess, but because he can't leave his position at the gate, I have to introduce myself.
Why is Aiden so late?
Yeah, she's
seen
eating
Aiden
a
in the
meal
stone
of
chamber?
apples and I don't know what kind of oatmeal stuff she's got in that other plate. Gruel.
There's nothing that I love about this countryside. Not one.
Talk to Devane. Hello, Mr. Devane. What do you have for me? Do you know about the Forest of Seclusion?
This is Western Camp.
Yeah, it's. I still find it a little odd that part of the dialogue is from Devane, and part of the dialogue is like your own narration, but there's no clear separation between the two. There's kind of like a very vague line, and it's really, really hard to see. I'm guessing that's what they consider that division. It would have been nice if it's a little clearer. We've been fighting the imps for some time now. Grace us with her royal presence has only made things worse. Most of the remaining soldiers have been sent to the excavation site or are busy guarding the princess. So, defeat some wolves and find the quartermaster. And when you want to make some real money, then you can find the dollar master. Now, I would say this is something that I think World of Warcraft did a little bit better in regards to teaching you how to play the game. Is that, like, because of the pacing it gives your abilities. Like, I think this game would have benefited from just giving you, like, one attack, and you go off and you use that one attack, and then say the next mission, you start fighting long-range guys, so it gives you your long-range attack. That way you can try these abilities separate from each other, rather than kind of get thrown everything, including this dodge button, which I still haven't... Ooh. Which I still haven't actually used in battle, or actually needed. Although I'm sure once I get... If I actually get to a tougher guy... Is this the nest of the tree spirit? He looks really dumb. Oh, you're not a tree spirit? Whew. Devane? Oh boy, I thought we were being ambushed by tree spirits. I don't see any tree spirits surrounding him. They offered me a lot of money, so I even stopped trading with Lark to come out here. Ah, bad move. Who would have thought that even with the cliff assigned here, we still would be encircled by monsters. Do you hear loud noises around you? There are a bunch of small evil tree spirits nearby. Just kill the tree spirits. Okay. And truly, the meat and potatoes of the MMO. Oh, I'm already level 11, I guess? Is finding a whole group of bad guys and then slowly beginning their extermination. I'm not really going to worry about looting them because this is just beta. I'm not probably not gonna follow up on this. Just so if you're wondering like why I'm not really picking up any items, it's because I figure that's basically just going to slow me down, and like I got a withered leaf. Wow, fantastic, amazing. No. Okay, so you look at the mini-map. I think I can understand why they decided on that, because in theory it's more realistic to only be able to see the enemies that are in front of you. So on the mini-map it only shows you the enemies within your eyesight. But it is a tad inconvenient that you can't just look at it and be like, oh, A wolf got into this fight. And died. These immature tree spirits. These hooligans. Where are they? Quartermaster is over here now? Alright. Why is the waypoint taking me all the way back through town? You know, I can't really think of any game off the top of my head that has that feature that, of, like, if you defeat an enemy, you gain more knowledge about it. Like, you start to learn its weaknesses. Like, off the top of my head, I can't really think of one. I'm sure there's at least been one. Also, I think the people here in this town are confusing ghosts with monsters. Like, how are the tree spirits different from just tree monsters, for instance? Also, why am I just doing everything that the black spirit tells me to do? Like, I've just kind of woken up. Oh, there's the line. And don't know who I am, but this... Am I just assuming everybody else has a black spirit that tells them what to do? I could hear the sound of wood splitting all the way over here. So he does recognize that the wood spirits are actual physical manifestations. Even though it's not entirely clear what allows them to manifest. Do you mind helping them? The princess will not be pleased to see me. Everybody knows how ill-tempered she is. Also, please forget everything I just said. Hopefully she will have something edible to her. Ooh, I learned a new skill. Or I can learn a new skill. Wait, why are you here again? Where's the quartermaster? Butler, find that quartermaster and bring him to me. That's practically supervillain-esque dialogue.
There's nothing that I like about this countryside. Not one bit. I want to finish quickly and get back to...
See, I employ Eden because I need somebody to investigate. The thing is, I haven't heard from him. Even though it hasn't actually been a week, but time is kind of meaningless within MMOs.
I knew this was coming. You don't want your wages, do you?
I was wondering when the ancient stone chambers would actually show up in the storyline.
I want to finish quickly and get back to the castle.
Alright, so here is the skill tree. Well, that's not really a tree anymore. To learn the various new abilities, although a lot of these are kind of like based on what are very context sensitive, like while sprinting with the scythe, while mounted. Actually, okay, so that's regular, but teleport forward to attack enemies. Ooh, that sounds interesting. There we go. So I guess there is a little bit of a cooldown, maybe? It's hard to tell. Ah, yep. Okay. Now the cooldown stands out a bit more. And so I can use this to get a nice jump on my enemies, wherever they might be. Also, there's this little, like, kind of pinging noise in the music that kind of bothers me. Ah, it's gone now. But it'll be back. Okay, let's try this out. Okay, that was pretty awesome. Definitely a worthy skill to acquire. As it also seems as if this Grey Boar didn't even survive that opening salvo, let alone give myself any time to actually worry about having to attack him. Now, I suppose I probably should mention a couple things. As this is just kind of a quick look, MMOs are difficult to really show off because, like, you're not going to be able to see, like, group battles, dungeons, PvP to any sort of degree.
Have you heard about the statue at the end of the chamber? They say it has
Ask Soldier. This soldier doesn't get a name.
How eerie it is here.
Is it this soldier?
Or did you just hear that?
Halt.
It's strange. Can't remember how we got here. Well, what do we do?
Alright, look for Eden, find out what he's up to. So that's the thing with playing any game that is up there in the hundreds of hours. Is there are a lot of features that you're not going to see. So, for that, I apologize. That said, at the very least, you kind of get a basic idea of what the combat system is like, what exploration is like. And the game is pretty interesting. A little bit derivative of previous MMOs, but the world itself is very detailed. There's a lot going on. I don't know if the mystery is that particularly interesting just yet. It must be fate that brought you here.
Even in the darkness.
I had no idea it was a surgeon. The Grand Chamberlain Jourdain say that. Excavation sites are always full of danger. So he's just kind of standing there, doing nothing. Huh. You know, I've got to say it though, I do enjoy these floating cubes.
Aiden, look at this.
There's something wrong with the artifact. Is it because of this traveler here?
You are infected, possessed with dark energy.
But it's not awakened yet. So, tell us anything you might know about the black energy. You must rid yourself of all those visions.
Aiden, stop. He seems unstable.
Thank you for watching. Questions, comments, recommendations for something to play next? Comment down below or send it on over to itsoundedgoodonpaper@gmail.com. That's itsoundedgoodonpaper@gmail.com. So long for now.